I am going to look at appearance. Now, what do I want to describe about Mr. Fox's appearance? Because I can't describe everything, can I? So I'm going to have to pick a few things. Well, I remember in the book, it tells me about his sharp eyes, doesn't it? Because he spotted something behind the tree. So I think that's quite important to describe. So therefore, maybe I should use an expanded noun phrase. Now, what two adjectives, thinking back to my mind map, did I use to describe Mr. Fox's eyes? Yes, I used beady, sharp eyes. So there we go. I want to use that expanded noun phrase in my character description. Okay, and also I would quite like to say that Mr. Fox wears a jacket, doesn't he? He wears a coat. And could I use an expanded noun phrase to describe his coat again? Well, yes, I could, couldn't I? So I think I am going to say he wears a smart navy coat. And then I'd like to add a conjunction here. But beneath it, his fur is auburn, thick and tattered. So in this sentence that I want to include in my character description, I've got an expanded noun phrase, a conjunction, and I've got a power of 3. Okay, so what else could I describe about his appearance? Well, I haven't used a simile yet, have I? So I want to think of a simile that I could use in my character description. And I think I want to describe Mr. Fox's whiskers, okay, because they're quite long, aren't they? So if I want to use a simile that describes Mr. Fox's whiskers, and he's using long as the adjective, what could I compare it to? Oh, yes, I know. I want to say Mr. Fox's whiskers are as long as spaghetti. Okay, so there's my first simile. Okay, now next, we are going to describe, I had to check again, his background information. So what do I want to say about his background information? Well, I want to say that him and his family live off the food from the farmers. So I've got this from my map that we created about their background. And I also want to say that he lives in the hole of a tree above the valley with Mrs. Fox, and the small foxes. So you only need a little bit about his background, okay? Not too much, because you can't describe everything, can you? Okay, lastly, I want to look at his movement, how he smells, and how he sounds. Now, let's have a think. Well, I remember we got a quote from the book, didn't we, that said that he creeps. Now, I would like to include that in my character description because I think that's a pretty good verb to use. So I'm going to use creeps. Well, he creeps down to the farms every night to get food, doesn't he? And I thought of a sentence yesterday that included a conjunction and also included that idea of him creeping down to the forest. So I am going to include in this paragraph about his movement, Mr. Fox knows that the evil, sly farmers, so look, I've got an expanded noun phrase, are after him. Yet, so one of my conjunctions, he still creeps as quiet as a mouse. So what have I included there? Yes, I've included a simile, haven't I? Down to the farms every night to get food. Okay, so that's a sentence I would like to include about his movement. And look, I've included a conjunction and a simile and an expanded noun phrase all in the same sentence. Okay, now finally, I know that his nose twitches, doesn't it? Now, how could I describe his nose? Well, if I look back at my mind map, I can see that I've described it as wet and pointy, okay? And I said that it twitched from side to side when I wrote my sentences, including conjunctions. So I think I want to include that. So his wet, pointy nose twitches from side to side. Can I include a conjunction here? Well, yes, I can. His wet, pointy nose twitches from side to side so he can sniff out the farmers. Okay, now, can I describe the farmers as well? Well, yes, I can. I'm going to describe them as evil and reeking. So this is a sentence that I really want to use. His wet, pointy nose twitches from side to side so he can sniff out the evil, reeking farmers. So there we go. I have created my plan for my character description. So I've got ideas that I want to use, I've got expanded noun phrases, I've got conjunctions, I've got similes, I've got power of 3s. Okay, I've got lots in my plan that I can then use in my character description. Now, none of this is new. I've just taken these all from my mind maps that I've created. So my mind map on the personality, my map on the appearance, and my mind map on his background information, as well as the similes and the sentences with the conjunctions that I created. So now it is your turn, okay? You have a worksheet that looks exactly the same as my one did here. And you need to think of all of the similes, the expanded noun phrases, the adjectives, the power of threes, the sentences with conjunctions in that you would like to use in your character description for Farmer Bean. Now make this as detailed as you can with lots of ideas that you want to use, because you'll be using this to write your character description tomorrow. Now remember, you don't need to describe absolutely everything about their personality, their background information and their appearance, okay? Just choose 3 or maybe 4 things about their appearance to really describe, and a few things about their background, and a few things about their personality and movement and smell and sound. Okay, so do not think of too much, because we want to have less but of a really good quality, including similes and expanded noun phrases. Okay, year 2, so I'm going to leave you to have a go at completing your plan, and I will see you in our next English lesson, where we're going to be writing our character description. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.